The foreboding music honors class is here with Joey Votto. Joey Votto, I believe, is here as well. Joey, it's Brian Kenny. Welcome back. How are you?
Appropriate music. Appropriate music.
That is a yes, somber, ready, serious. So we want to talk Jacob Misiorowski today. So, Joey, a 1.62 ERA, 111 innings, 167 strikeouts, leads baseball by 30 strikeouts. You tell me what you see when you watch him.
And kind of a rough game last night, so they were even better than the day before. What do I see? I see a right-handed pitcher that breaks all the rules. And what does that mean? That means he has the most extension, which means that when he releases the ball, it looks like he's closer to you than the average pitcher. He has the most spin on his four-seam fastball. What does that mean? That means that as the ball's approaching, it looks like it's going to be in one place, but it ends up being higher. It ends up being higher. So it's difficult to time, difficult to make good, solid contact. He has the best fastball. The number one right-handed fastball maybe of all time. And what does that mean? That means that you can't train to prepare for Jacob Misiorowski. You can't create a machine setting. You can't have a batting practice thrower. You can't hit off the tee to prepare for this. So the one most important tool in all of pitching is a fastball, and he has maybe the greatest fastball of all time for those three reasons.
You brought this up to me when we were speaking about this barrel percentage, and I'll explain this to the people, that a barrel is a ball. It's basically a frozen rope, 98 miles per hour or up at a good angle, not popped up, not grounded, a rope. 422 batters faced. Joey, he's allowed 7. That's 1.7%. Now, Dylan Cease is close. Shohei is there. Look, Landon Roop is there. But explain why this is happening. You just went into it a little bit there, but explain what you're seeing and how hard it is to actually figure out what's coming or getting there on time.
The objective in 2026 baseball is to get your very best swing off as often as possible. We've traded the base hit, the double from the 70s and the 80s, 90s, well, maybe less so 90s, for home runs, for walks, for that combination to be able to have those big innings. And if you cannot have that big inning, if you can't have that big moment, because Jacob literally doesn't even give up. I mean, he's got 6 this year, and not all barrels are home runs. You can hit a 105 to right center field and it get chopped down. So he doesn't give up the big moment. And that is a really important characteristic for any pitcher to have. Combine that with leading the league in strikeouts, and it's darn near impossible to score runs against this guy. But
Joey, common wisdom is, and we've heard this through the whole velo revolution, the ascension of the strikeout. No matter how hard you throw, a major league hitter can hit it. Is that still true? Like when he's hitting 104, 105, is that still true? Can he just throw fastballs?
So what makes him special is imagine the very center of the strike zone as the most important real estate. It's Madison Avenue. It's the most crucial piece of the hitter-pitcher relationship, and he has the ability to. And if you watch the games, he has the ability to set the catcher up in the middle of the plate and throw balls in the middle of the plate with nothing you can do about it, simply because his skill set is so specific that the modern batter cannot keep up with his game. They can't match his physical skills. And so he's got this amazing ability to break all of the modern rules. And he's in his second year, so he's just about to enter his prime. And we'll see how healthy he stays.
Yeah, we had Joey, Chris Hook on the show. He's the Brewers pitching coach. He was great, by the way. He had specific things to say about the Miz that were like simple yet specific. Here's part of what he had to say.
he moves fast. I think that's the biggest key, is just try to get him to move fast. The throwing program is situated to kind of replicate his delivery as best as we can. He does the stuff in the weight room. He's done a tremendous job of getting stronger. The work off the mound with his water bags has been tremendous. So it's body control and moving that body as fast as we can get it, and that's where you get 100 mile an hour.
Joey, I thought that was interesting. What do you think of that? Getting his body to move as quickly as possible, his body movement.
Everybody, and he's a representative of the Brewers, so they're going to speak to their relationship and how they prepare their pitchers. But everyone's working hard. Every single pitcher has their way to be the best they can possibly be, and it just so happens that Jacob was just touched by the pitching gods to be the very best power pitcher of the modern era. And for a league that emphasizes barrels, that emphasizes getting on base, he breaks those rules because he can throw the ball in the middle of the plate where you're looking for it, and you can't do anything. You can't do anything about it. So, he's a special pitcher.
He talked about simplicity too. Like he said, simplicity and conviction, right? Is there something to like all the information you get in your head? Is there what are your thoughts on that? That he does seem to he's convicted with what he's throwing.
Well, you can be as convicted as you want, but you have to have the matching. You have to have the matching stuff, and there's plenty of pitchers in the minor leagues that are convicted and want to throw this, 93 mile an hour fastball in the middle of the plate and throw it past throw it past a professional hitter. But you're going to be told over and over again that your stuff is in line with what they do damage with. And Jacob, on the other hand, has the ability to throw. He can set his catcher up with the cutter, with the slider. He doesn't even have to throw a changeup. He doesn't have to paint. He doesn't even have to go high in the strike zone with his fastball because of that spin extension combination. And as a hitter, when you go back to the dugout and you're speaking to your teammates, you're saying basically he breaks all of the rules with your body language, with your frustration. Sometimes right. a guy like Jacob will prompt a lack of bat snaps and bat throws and screams because it's just like, this is on another level. This breaks all the rules.
Great stuff on the Miz. Joey, one last thing. We heard from Zach Wheeler after through a great game, did not get named to the All-Star team, felt snubbed and was talking about it, saying, boy, you must have forgot about me. Did you feel that? Under 2015 might be one time that you felt like you should have gotten that. You ever feel snubbed in the All-Star process, or do you try to stay away from that?
Well, the only reason 2015, and they selected two quality first basemen. The only reason 2015 bothered me a bit was because I played in Cincinnati and the All-Star game was there. But it was a time where getting on base and lower RBIs weren't as popular, and it just so happens that was a year where I wasn't having a strong RBI and home run performance. So it is what it is. I think that feeling we feel, there's plenty of players that feel that, but they won't speak it out loud. And I'm glad that Zach said that because he's clearly an all-star and he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. And we want the very best at the most important game. So good on him for speaking up. He's 36 now. Why not speak your mind? You're a great pitcher. You've had a great career and you're having a great season.
Your second half after that, you had a .535 on base. You slugged .617. Is that motivation, or was that just where you were at?
Yeah, I was angry in the All-Star break. I remember sitting at dinner back home in Toronto while the game was on and just kind of brooding about it. But you move on and there's no motivation to play well. You got to play well at all times, and that's what Zach's going to do in the second half.
I can envision that. Like, hey, Joey, the game's on. Can I turn the game on? Leave it off. No, come on, Joey. You should watch. No,
this might end up working out well for Zach, where he's closing out the 7th game of the World Series for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yep. Joey, great having you back on the show. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thanks, all.
All right, thank you, Joey Votto there.